Hello everybody, it's the Geo Doctor coming to you today almost live from the Geo Doctor's office. Today's a special day, guys. It's May the 1st. Right now it's 2:30 p.m. on May the 1st. Today is the final deadline for the Scale Creations model contest, which must be posted up by midnight tonight. I'm going to do two videos today. I'm going to break this video up into two parts. One will be my presentation of my model, and this particular video is a shout out and a thank you to all my subscribers for your patience and your loyalty and your dedication to following this crazy man in this hobby. But it's a shout out to some very special people who have touched my life in the modeling community in a very profound way. They are there for me all the time, as all of you are. You all inspire me to varying degrees, and some of you just excel at doing that. And today's just a shout out to say thank you to so many of these special people. Went to my first model show this year. It was in Detroit over at Wayne County Community College. Very first time I've ever been to any kind of a model show at all. My wife and my daughter drove me there. We got there, it was about 10:30 in the morning, and my jaw dropped. I mean, I was just blown away. I could not believe the size of this show. There would have been 500 people if there was one inside there at any one given time throughout the day. It was not just a model show. I mean, there were vendors there that had die cast, models of every kind, military, naval, airplanes, cars, trucks, you name it, it was there. Old, new, mint condition, down to junk. I loved it. But I was blown away. They had Hot Wheels there. They had Matchbox there. If you can think of it, fellas, and it dealt with automotive or any type of transportation history, those models were there someplace in some form. Now, before I went, I always heard about the great deals you're going to get there. Did I get some great deals? Absolutely. Boy, did I get some smashing good deals. I came home with 8 different models that day. The very first one I came across was like 10 minutes into the show. I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. It's this Lindbergh Dodge Charger SRT8 Super B by Lindbergh, skill level 3. I mean, this is still wrapped in cellophane. This is a brand new model. Look at the size of the box of this thing. I mean, this thing has got to be filled with hundreds and hundreds of parts. And I can only imagine that this would have been at least a $25, $26, $27 model, depending on where you bought it brand new. I got it for $10. $10. What a heck of a deal. And me being a Mopar fan, I mean, I couldn't turn that down. And the rest of the day was helter-skelter the same way. You'd find really good deals with some guys, and then the guys who had the really rare kits, the ones that you really want to buy, you know, they were just, it was like a C note they were looking for. You were starting at $100, and then as the day progressed, they kind of worked it down. So they were here, and then they started bringing the prices down as time ran out. And many of these guys, I think, went home with a lot of stock, because I'm sorry, you just can't, unless you've got $1,000 to walk into this show and just really get what you want, which I didn't have at the time. You know, that's just seemed to be the way the show went. I got to the part where the models were all displayed and laid out, and oh my gosh, I was so humbled. I mean, without a doubt, I see the models that many of you fellas post up. And I'm thinking of the great modelers that I've met online or on YouTube. Detroit Muscle 59, Leaky Goalie, the Badazzcanadian, Rick Howard, Alex Drake, Larry Cleveland, Edward Hoffman, Dr. Cranky, Donn Yost, and the list goes on, and thank God it does. But these are the great, what I call the master modelers in our community. And these guys blow me away. So to each and every one of you guys that I've mentioned by name today in my little shout out, Chris Chapman, my goodness, Chris, you have so greatly influenced me in the direction of my modeling lately. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for teaching this old man new tricks. This old dog has learned a lot of new tricks lately. I have one major problem, though, with implementing them. This is that, guys, right here. You can see the arms. The arms are now splinted. The hands are splinted. This is the rest of my life, guys. I'm going to look like RoboCop for the rest of my life. If they ever bring that dance back, you know, where you're doing this junk, I'll just fall right in line. It really makes modeling cumbersome. It makes it really hard, guys. It's bad enough I've got no feeling in the arms. It's bad enough I have no feeling in my hands. Bad enough they shake and they tremble. Fortunately, the bracing has helped with the right side on the shaking, and I am right-handed. But on the left side, it's getting challenging. And I'm really starting to think seriously about backing away from doing 1/24 scale and going up into 1/16, 1/8, maybe selling some of my 1/24 stock off. So keep your eyes open. You may be able to find some deals on some cars that you want, and maybe we can swing something. But I really think I'm going to have to back away from a lot of the 1/24th in not too long a period of time. And that saddens me. It really does. I adore this hobby, and it's been great therapy for this shrink. Oh, life has been busy the last 2 months, my friends. I had a friend who is not originally from Canada. He had to go home on a family emergency. He had parents that had died in his homeland, had to go back and sew up the family business there. So he took 2 months off and gave me a call, and one shrink to another, he said, "Look, would you take my practice for 2 months while I'm gone?" Hesitantly, I said, "Okay." And it just so happened to be the 2 months that the scale creation build was going on. And I need every minute of every day right now to work on these models. What would take you guys 10 minutes to do or 5 minutes to do sometimes can take me 3 and 4 hours just to finally get these things to go together and stay together. It's a labor of love. That being said, at the show, I had the unique privilege of meeting Detroit Muscle 59. I have wanted to meet my friend for so long. I was looking to meet him. I was looking for Charles Cochran. Chaz, I'm so sorry I missed you. I know you're outside. You're having a bad day with the flu that day. I was kind of looking for Venom, but then I found out you didn't bring Venom this year. That was my mistake. Sorry. Hopefully I'll see it in November. I was looking for Pat Redmond. I was looking for Chaz. I was looking for Detroit Muscle 59, Leaky Goalie. There was a few guys I was hoping to see. And guess what? I had the privilege of bumping into my good friend, the Detroit Muscle. Mazin, my friend, that's his name. His name is Mazin. What an honor, what a privilege, sir, to meet you, to shake your hand. Fellas, he is everything when you're one-to-one with him that he is online. He is a gentleman. a very kind man, very well-spoken, very well-educated young man. Talent just coming out the wazoo with this gentleman. He has forgot more about modeling than I'll ever know. He's been doing it for many, many years. And he's not afraid to tackle techniques that he's never done before, which I think is amazing. That's one thing I really find endearing in any modeler, just not afraid to tackle things. And the Detroit Muscle, if you follow him on his YouTube channel, and if you don't, I highly recommend you subscribe to this man's channel, because the work that he does and some of the innovative ideas that he has brought from General Motors, where he works as a computer technician, he has brought many of their technologies to model making, processes such as laying down these films, chemical films, and you can basically duplicate anything from a wood veneer to skulls or whatever and embed it right into your plastic. He did one project online. Look it up. It's amazing what this gentleman can do with a model. And I have a picture of his model, I believe, and I'm going to post it up towards the end of this video. And I'm also going to post up a picture, a snapshot that my daughter took of me and Mason together. I'm going to print that one out, blow it up, and it's going up here on my office wall. To show you how much I enjoyed this gentleman, we must have talked from basically 11 o'clock till about 2:30. And the modeling show was going beyond me. I mean, I had seen one aisle out of about 10 and not even completed seeing all the models. The judges were coming up and kicking us out of the modeling area where we met. And we were just going back and forth with this ongoing exchange, and it was truly wonderful. And Mason, thank you so very much. You are one of a kind, my friend. And Mason said, "Did you find anything?" And I said, yeah, I did. And I looked, and he had a parcel in his hand. And I says, "Oh," I says, "you found something, eh?" And he said, "Yes, I did." I says, "What'd you find?" He says, "Well, you know what?" He said, "This is a very special model." He says, "Are you familiar with Accurate Miniatures?" And I said, yeah, a little bit. I says, "Basically, they're an airplane manufacturer, aren't they?" He says, "That's what they specialize in." He says, "However, they did build one car." He says, "No kidding." He says, "Yeah, it was a Corvette Trans Am, 1964 Corvette Trans Am car. And he told me it was the most accurate representation or rendering that any company has ever done of this car." And he managed to find a kit. He got it at a good price. And so he said, "Do you want to see it?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he brings out this magnificent kit from Accurate Miniatures. And we're looking at it, and we're hemming and hawing. And he looks at me and he says, "Ken, I want you to build this for me." Ooh. I said, "No, Mason, this is a rare car. This is yours. You found it. This is your jewel. You build it, my friend." No, I want you to build this for me." I said, "I don't even know how long I want to be able to do this. I mean, it could be 10 years before I can build this car." He says, "Then it takes 10 years. I don't care. I want you to have the honor of building this for me." Let me show you this car, people. I am touched. I'm very touched to this day. This is the gem that my friend Mason gave me. Try and make this fit in the screen. By Accurate Miniatures, the Corvette Grand Sport 1964 Corvette. An amazing car. Trying to give you some of the, not much box art on the outside other than the pictures. And On the back, there's a beautiful representation here, a picture of it. It's got the chassis done. It shows you the car. Look at that engine, will you? Isn't that magnificent? Look at the tooling. And this model, inside this model, is mint. Every part is still in the bags. This is an unadulterated, 45-year-old model. Mazin, I thank you so much. You are a gentleman of the highest order. Thank you so very much for such a magnanimous gift of which I am not worthy. But my friend, I promise you, before my arms give out, I'm going to give it the best attempt I possibly can to honor this car and do it properly. And after that, I'll probably ship it back to you, if it's not in too bad a shape. If it is, you're not getting it back. But thank you, my friend. You are a gentleman. And please, fellas, stay around to the end of the video just to see the picture of me and my friend Mazin. Make contact with this man, guys. This man knows his stuff, and he is a gentleman, and he shares prolifically. Okay, we're getting a little long in this video. I keep looking to the side here to watch my timing because I have diarrhea of the mouth. Shrinks do. To Chris Chapman, my friend. Chris, you have been talking so much about acrylics lately, and I wanted to share a secret with you today. I don't know if you know this, and if you do, I apologize, but hopefully there's a couple modelers out there who have never known this secret before. I hold up before you, in my hand, a Downy dryer sheet. That's right. Good old Downy dryer sheet. Now, fellas, this has been through the dryer, and that's a very, very important part of this exercise, is to understand that this has been through the dryer. Now, I'm going to try and expedite this as quickly as I can. This is a little bit of science, okay? The way these sheets and the principle that they work are the same principle that anything works on that makes a shine come to life. This is a scientific explanation of why polishes and Windex, why these things work to make things have a shine and reflect. In a cell, just imagine a round cell. In the center is a nucleus. The nucleus has a negative charge to it, just like the poles on a battery or on a magnet. You've got a positive and a negative side. In every cell in our body, we have a negative nucleus, and around it, surrounding it, are these little proton ions. They go around and around and around. When you want something to shine, what happens is the rubbing combined with chemicals takes the positive ions, it excites them, and they jump up into a next orbit. They literally go out of existence and show up in a higher orbit. When that happens, that's called a quantum leap. If you've never heard about it, it's something that scientists to this day cannot truly explain that phenomenon, how something can go out of existence and pop into existence at a higher energy level. But that's called a quantum leap. That's why it's called a quantum leap of faith, when you really can't explain it, but you know it's a fact. Now, that being in mind, what happens is when you excite something using a chemical, the protons go up into a new quantum leap. They have more energy. There's more energy coming off of them, and it shows up as a shine. Okay? It shows up as a shine. That's what shine is. So whether it be floor polish, furniture polish, Windex, even just taking a regular cloth and just rubbing something, you're transferring energy through friction, you're getting the ions excited, they jump up, and bang, you get a reflection. This works especially well with acrylic paint. Now, you take a used Downy sheet. Now, I took down off my shelf today. This is the second model that I ever built. Okay? It's the heavy Chevy. It's got a 455 fully blown in it. Now that's not important. Can you see the dull shine on that roof, on that back hood? Boy, I'm hoping you can pick this up. I'm still not used to this camera after all these years. But there's not really a heck of a lot of shine on that. I'm going to take this dryer sheet. Now, I used the good old Future to clear coat this when I was done. And clear coating with Future and using these dryer sheets works exceptionally well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this Downy and I'm going to rub half of the hood of this car, the roof of this car. Okay, here we go. 2 years this has been sitting and never been touched. It's got a lousy paint job on it, fellas. I got to tell you that. Lousy paint job. Come down the C-pillar. Come down. Move along. Onto the trunk. Now let's see how this turns out. Can you see the difference in the shines? Okay. I'm really hoping that this can come out for you. Do you see the back trunk? The top part where my thumb is, right here, I've used the Downy sheet. Okay. The bottom part I haven't. So you can see how it shines all the way along the top, but not so on the bottom. This is the principle I'm talking about. Same thing on the top of the car, on the roof. You see the difference in the shines? As you go along, the one shines right up, and the other one stays pretty dull. Here's a Jaguar. This is a die-cast Jag. I don't know if this is lacquer. I don't know if this is enamel because I really don't know what they put on these. But I thought today, right here on camera, we're going to take a chance. Let's take a look at the shine on here. I bought this off eBay because I love this car and I think it's got very sexy lines to it. Let's see if this buffs up and how it reacts to the Downy sheet. I wish you were here, guys, because this is reacting very well to the Downy application. This hood is sparkling now. Absolutely sparkling, and I've just given it maybe, what, 30 seconds worth of wiping. Good to close now. Trying to catch the light right. And you see that shine coming off that hood? It's not dull, it's shiny. And if you can look at it in comparison to the fender wells, I'm wondering how I could get that. There we go. That hood is shiny compared to the fender wells. I think this is something that the camera is really not going to represent. It's not, you're not going to pick it up fully. But there's a chemical released in a Downy sheet during the process of softening your clothes. Now, what is Downy made to do? It's made to take static cling out. Static cling is caused from positive and negative ions joining up between your two pieces of clothing. This cancels that out so they don't stick together. So there's a link for you right there mentally to think about, that if this has got something to do with arranging the ion construction within the cells of your plants, or your pants and your clothing plants, oh boy. If this can work on clothing, you know it's going to have an effect on your models. It's a great, cheap, inexpensive modeling tool that you get fabulous results with. So try this, please, try this. The next time your wife, if she uses the bounce or a downy sheet, tell her, please don't throw them away. You don't need them warm. They can be dirt cold. Put them in a plastic bag and just save them up. And before long, you'll have a dozen of these things lying around, and you can use them more than once. Just watch. They're very fibrous, and if they hook on any photo etch metal, they hook on your mirrors, they're going to tear them off. But once you've clear coated your decals and stuff, or if you've got enough clear coat on to protect them, they aren't going to bother. But they do have a habit of snagging, so be very careful. Well, I've been long enough, too long actually. I hope I've not forgotten anyone. I thank each and every one of you for your influence. I thank you for bearing with me today as I yak. But I just had a lot to say, and I haven't posted up for quite a few months now. And I really haven't said thank you to the people who certainly deserve a thank you. To all my friends on Facebook, thank you so much for your eye candy. Thank you so much for the tips and handling that you give me every single day. I try to comment on as much as what my life will afford me to do. And until next time, this is the Geo Doctor. Almost live from the Geo Doctor's office saying, take care. God bless. Take care of your health, fellas. It's the most precious thing you've got. Thanks a lot, fellas. Bye-bye now.